So hello everyone on Facebook and live on the Talk of the Town. This is Lynn Positin, also known as Lynn About Town, and I have a wonderful friend with me today. This lovely young lady who is actually really giving and really smart and beautiful, and I sometimes embarrass her but my heartfelt comments are totally real. Her eyes are so beautiful. Sometimes I look in them and they're a little distracting because they're so bright and beautiful and doe-eyed. And there you go. Anybody out there who's super wonderful, you should meet Katrina because she is as well. So Katrina is actually the CEO of her own company, and it is called Do Good Creative. And she really does do a lot of good. I'm going to just show you one thing in Facebook land. This middle logo here is for the Clearwater Community Volunteers, which I am now the secretary of. And we are a project that is really beloved now in Clearwater. We took a piece of property that wasn't very good or, sought after, and the city rents it to us for a very nominal fee. And we have community garden plots, and we're up to 45 gardeners, and we now have, a bee pollinator garden, so that we're really attracting bees, which keeps our plants really doing well. So it's really lovely to be in Florida and year-round garden. But Katrina made that beautiful logo, and I love it because it says everything about growing healthy communities, which is what a community garden does. So anyway, I wanted Katrina to come on today because she's always been there for me. She's always helped me, along with her mom, Vicky. They're the kind of people that you meet and you go, wow, I wish I was that smart, but yet they're so lovely and they're so giving and they're always there helping me. I call her within a moment's notice. She just very calmly, and I'm usually not calm when I call her. I have to admit, I'm usually in panic mode going, okay, so I have to create a banner, and I have 60 sponsors, and I have logos, and I'm finding the logos as I'm talking to her, and I'm emailing them to her, and she's like, okay, I got 3 of the 50. Can you please, Lynn, can you look again and send me some more? And I'm just like, thank you for being there. So she has just helped me with the Martin Luther King Center and the golf tournament. She's helped me with the Clearwater Community Garden. She's helped me with the Community Learning Center. She's helped me with whatever project I need. And I just want to validate her, and I believe that we should support local, and I believe that we should definitely shop local. And so this is a case of shopping and supporting local, because that is what this lovely Katrina does at Do Good Creative. So with that introduction, I'm going to let her talk a little bit about graphic design and how is it that, one, you got into that. So let's start there.
Well, thank you for having me on your show.
My pleasure.
And that was a very big introduction.
Heartfelt.
Yes, thank you. How did I get into it?
Yeah.
Basically I got a job at a marketing company, and they were looking for an in-house graphic designer, and I basically lied on my resume to say that I knew how to do it. And then I learned how to do it, and then I was able to work there and learn on the job. So I'm self-taught. But so I worked there for a while, and it was doing dental marketing, so it wasn't the most fulfilling of, things.
But what a stable place to actually, be able to get a little creative, but you learn the ropes.
Yeah, I learned so much doing it because I got to create thousands and thousands of postcards and design them. So it helped me learn print design and just have to figure out lots of problems.
Placement.
Just all this stuff.
And with postcards, you have to worry about the mailing area, and then getting everything that the customer wants to say concisely set is not easy. Because I worked for Postcard Mania, and I know that is a challenge.
Yes. Yeah, so it was a really good learning experience, and I learned a lot about the print industry and printing and working with printers and running employees and all that stuff. So it was definitely good. But then I wanted to do my own thing, so I left to basically do graphic design on my own, and when I started Do Good. So yeah.
That's welcome. And so was the dentist, was he a good reference for you? You know, I mean, did he like come through and say like, oh yeah, she can do it? Or because I mean, because you didn't have the quote unquote schooling credentials, I was wondering if something like that would be really needed.
Well, it was a dental marketing company.
Oh,
so
right.
we did marketing for dentists.
I got you. I'm sorry. I totally got that. I got that off wrong.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got you in like a mom and pop place, but yes, you did say that. So,
but yeah, they were really supportive of me moving on and everything, so that was good.
yeah, I know my daughter's in the dance world, and I found that the dance instructors that actually are eager for the dancer to move on are the best ones.
Mhm.
It's really interesting, like they're not trying to hold on to them or not let them expand, because it actually, they know it's a reflection of them as well. So yeah, I think that's always a good way to be.
Yeah,
people.
definitely.
So I want to tell you something here about logo and branding design. Okay, so Katrina put something up recently about, you know, there is sometimes the place for, you had a cute little video actually. You should go on Do Good Creative's Facebook page if you haven't already and like that page. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you to do. So do that. But she puts up these great videos and great tips, which I actually learned from. So thank you for doing that, because I'm certainly self-taught on all the voluminous things that I do. So I appreciate it. But you were talking about that sometimes, I'm going to call it a little cookie cutter logo, or a little logo that you can get at logo.com, you know, and work these little free apps or something. How sometimes that's actually appropriate, and then other times it really isn't. So could you shed a little light on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of websites where you can get like a $5 logo or a really cheap logo. Or
Like
something
Fiverr.
Like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the design world, a lot of designers very, very much frown upon those sites. But I get asked a lot about it, and I mean, basically, if you don't have a lot of money to spend and you're kind of just starting out in your business and you know exactly what you want and you have an original idea for your logo, then yes, you can hire somebody really cheap and get it made, and you'll, you know, pretty much be happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're expecting them to like be really creative and come up with lots of different options and really work something from the ground up,
right.
and then it's not really going to probably work out that well, and you're probably going to be pretty frustrated with
right.
it.
So to avoid all that, you should hire someone like you.
Right. So like when you hire a designer, like they're going to go over with you like what is the purpose of your company and how do you visually represent that, because that's their job. And they're going to give you lots of different options and different solutions, and they're going to think with all the places you're going to use the logo and all of those things. Because sometimes people get excited about a certain image and they go, this is great.
Right.
And then when they give it to a designer to put on a letterhead or put on a business card, they realize, oh no, like there's a lot of empty space, or it's hard to use it in layout, and it can be very frustrating later on.
Yes.
So it's better to, like, if you have the money, to invest in a designer and get something made that you really love, and then you have everything worked out, and then you can just expand from there.
Right. And the reason for that, I know that just in the flyers of the nonprofit groups that I've done a golf tournament or wanted to promote an event, or let's say, you know, my company, Consumer Energy Solutions, wants to be a sponsor of a certain event. I have learned that I need to ask questions, because there are several versions of a logo, like that transparent back, because let's say you want it to show up on the bright red. You notice the flyer they're doing is bright red, and your logo has red in it. Well, you better put a background on there, or your CES letters, which ours are red, will disappear. So that's when, you know, I, even on my job, went like, no, we need other versions of this. And people like you have really come through and helped me so that, you know, we can do that.
And a designer will think with, like, when to use the logo all white or all black, or all in a solid color, and all of those different things.
So you've learned, I would assume, through your career, of the right questions to ask.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And sometimes I've had it where, you know, a year later, a client will come and they'll be like, I'm going to do a billboard, and so I need to kind of rearrange the logo so that when it's really, really big, we can read it. Or if they're getting something embroidered, that's like a whole can of worms that you have to think with, because you're dealing with thread and usually one or two colors. So if their logo has a lot of fancy effects in it, you have to simplify that down so that it can actually be put onto a t-shirt or something. So there's just a lot of things to think about that when you're not a designer, you don't really think about it till it's too late sometimes.
Correct. And then, of course, also, since you're not the designer and you're the guy that is the dentist, you're not necessarily going to know how to articulate even the questions. So you being at the impetus and actually asking the questions and pulling that out of a person is key. So I just want to tell everybody that it really is key. And I'm sure that Katrina could find the right price point and the right logo for you guys. And, you know, like there was this one time where I just realized I wanted to type things on Facebook personally, but I didn't want, forgive me if anyone is offended by this, but to write HBD, literally for someone's birthday, to me, I would rather not write anything.
I feel the same way.
Do you feel the same way? I just feel like, Lynn, if you don't have enough time to physically push the texting button, and yes, with typos, at least say what your heart and what you want to say, then do not type HBD. Just like later tomorrow say, please forgive me for missing your birthday. I have 5 minutes now. I want to tell you what I think of you. Okay, so with that, I did find out about Fiverr, and I went on there and I want to create emojis of me in different expressions. And so what I did is I just searched around, and I found the artist that I wanted. And right with the directions, she said, I'll give you 3 versions of them for this amount of money. And there was only one that she just wasn't getting right, which weirdly enough for me, the smiler was the frown face. Because I said, frowning, you know, and I'm like, that's not right. And so that one took 2 times, and everything else was perfect. I wanted hearts floating out of my head, and you know. So anyway, my point is that when I read what you wrote, I knew that what we had here was an ethical person who wants you to survive and wants you to do well. And I have my own track with this beautiful Katrina Crocker, and I think the world of her. But I'm letting you people know that you do need someone that cares about you that much, because she will get the best out of your graphic design. So, okay, so let's see. Things you love about being designer. Go.
Well, I mean, when we're talking about logos, I love when I get to take an idea that a client has and visually represent it, and then when they love it, and it's like really their own, like I talked about it in a different video about, it's kind of like when you have like your soulmate of a logo, it's like your soulmate of a logo, because it's yours, and they get so excited to put it everywhere, and I love to see them really create on it and go like, oh, I can put this on a t-shirt, and we could do tote bags, and I can, you know, put it on a coffee mug, and they get really excited, and
that's when you know you hit it out of the park.
That's when you know you really got it, because the thing is, people get very distracted. There's so much to look at on social media and on Instagram, and they go like, oh, like that's pretty, or that's pretty, and I don't know what I want. But when you find what really represents them, then they fall in love with it, and they're like, this is it, and I love it so much. So when you really get that and they love it, that's like the best feeling ever.
And sometimes it's finding the right font. For instance, I think it's American Ballet Theater, or one of them, actually both of the biggies in New York, usually only they don't even have a dancer represented. It's the words. You know, American Ballet Theater or New York City Ballet. It's you know, the one with the Z, Zumpf, or whatever that famous font with the Z, Zumpf or something. Anyway, they use one of those. And then you look at Coca-Cola, right? So the point is that the communication is the key, and is the vehicle to get that aha, you know, happiness that you so love.
Yeah, when a client is not sure what they want, and they can get distracted really easily, and they're just not sure, then you get into a lot of versions of a logo, because you always have to go back to the beginning and go, okay, what are you about? What do you want to represent? And then you start over.
Sure, basically. Bring it back to the purpose of the company itself, because then that would be something they they can agree on and a point from which you can extract,
Yeah.
and what represents that to you.
Yeah.
And,
Because otherwise, you start getting the client trying to hold your hand in design for you, and then you're like, okay, we got to go back to the beginning here, because it's like, what are you trying to fix? Like, what is it not communicating to you?
Right, we're on the wrong track.
Right.
And you'd rather pull it right back and start again.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you've learned a lot from how to ask the right questions.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So what are you working on now? Who I think you have an amazing mother that I love named Victoria,
Yes.
Vicky, and she has a new entrepreneurial venture, and I'm going to have her on the show too, because as I've told you guys, I am a gardener, and she just opened up her own place, and I didn't know she had all that training in her, because again, I met her as a help flow. She was helping me with Community Learning Center and getting them on the map. And it was all just help me, which was beautiful. But then when I saw that she opened this, and tell them what she did.
Yeah, so she has a background in landscape design. I grew up behind a nursery in Massachusetts, so her and my dad opened a nursery. And so, I mean, I was around it my whole life, and my sisters were and everything. So she knows how to grow plants, she knows how to landscape design, all of that, and it's definitely her passion in life. And so she was able to partner up with Terra Nova Outdoor Living, and they opened a garden and design center in Largo. And so they just opened last week. So they've had a really good response, and she's been doing her thing, and she's so happy.
Oh, that's so exciting. And with the gardens, when your mom watches this later, I would love to maybe do a field trip there and bring some of the gardeners over, or offer them a Clearwater Community Gardens discount.
Yeah.
And we'll put the logo everywhere.
Yeah.
Keep everybody happy. What kind of plants does she sell?
Perennials, annuals, trees and shrubs, succulents, cactus, which are, people are very into having like indoor plants or succulents.
Yeah.
So all those types of things. And then they can also order in whatever if they don't have it, they can order it.
Oh, right, because she's got the buying power.
Yeah.
Good. Terra Nova. And where are they located? Let's see. We have an address here.
They're located 920 Clearwater Largo Road in Largo.
Oh, good. So Clearwater Largo Road is Fort Harrison.
Yeah, it turns into that.
Oh, okay. So if you started in Clearwater, you just keep going down toward the West Bay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you're in Largo. Good. Terra Nova Outdoor Living Garden and Design Center, 920 Clearwater Largo Road North, Largo, Florida. And they are open 8 to 5 every day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for telling us about your beautiful mama.
Yeah.
And so I want to... What did I want to talk about next? I wanted to ask you, if you were going to leave everyone today who's in Radio Land and later watching this on Facebook with what the best way to reach you is and how that first meeting might go. Just, I think giving people a little predict, because I'll tell you the truth, if I knew that I was going to hire somebody, there would be a whole process, and I'd be going, oh, if I make the phone call now, how much time do I need? Maybe I'll call later. Maybe some pricing or money problems would start flowing through my head. So what I would like to just get that out of the way and have you tell everybody, like, what would it mean if somebody wanted to hire you or wanted to at least talk to you? What could they expect?
I mean, they can call or email. I know a lot of people don't have time for phone calls nowadays, so they like emailing.
But she's so cute and she talks so nice, so call her.
Yeah, you can. And yeah, I mean, basically the first thing is kind of what are you looking for? And,
well, what's your website?
dogoodcreative.com.
dogoodcreative.com. dogoodcreative.com. She even gave me, I couldn't find it this morning, I was looking to rush, but she presented me with the most cute little gold necklace ones that said do gooder.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so proud of it because that's kind of what I am.
Yeah,
so
that's what you're all about.
yeah. So, okay, so I cut you off with that because I remembered I had to talk about my necklace. Yeah. So what were you saying, that then they would find you on the website?
Yeah.
And then the number and everything is there?
Yeah, the number is up there, and just info@dogoodcreative.com, and I answer email pretty speedily. And yeah.
And they could see some of your work?
Yeah, my portfolio is on the website, and testimonials and all of that.
You know, the one I saw today was of her dad's center in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Crocker
Nurseries.
Beautiful
Yeah.
logo. Really.
I didn't actually do that logo because that was done before I was born.
Well, it's a good one, and I would definitely follow suit on that.
But I did make their website, and I do a lot of marketing and stuff for them. So yeah, I know it well.
So check out her website and then give her a call. She's real easy to talk to. She will keep you totally feeling part of the process, and also what you can and can't do. She'll let you know.